Did they just bring Tokyo Ghoul into my Servamp? I mean, seriously, think about it. The C3 are pretty much the CCG. I mean, they're vampire hunters, unlike ghoul hunters, but they clearly use vampire tactics to fight the vampires. They've probably created themselves into synthetic vampires. Or something similar to what the CCG did with taking parts of the ghouls. Maybe they've taken parts of vampires. Because the weapons they use obviously look a ton like the things the Servamps are able to summon. So, I don't know. Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe Servamp is really ripping off Tokyo Ghoul right now. Either way, this episode was not great for me. It feels like they're bringing in way too much now. I mean, we got another new Servamp and his Eve, and then we got introduced to the C3 all in one episode. There's so many damn characters now, it's unbelievable. And we just don't need that many characters for a good storyline. I get that there's 7 of these things, the Servamps of Sin, but do we really need to be introduced to all of them to just do this storyline? I don't know. Maybe they're aiming for something much bigger, but in that case, it's not really going to fit into a 13-episode series. I mean, we're almost to the halfway mark of this one, and it doesn't really feel like we've got a definite storyline for how Mahiru's going to actually go after Tsubaki. So far, he's just fiddling around from place to place and meeting lots of new people. And every person that joins appears for an episode or two, and then that's it. They're busy with their own stuff. They're just chilling. I mean, Tsubaki's crew is the funniest. They're constantly just playing Go or eating sushi. They just chill. They have fun. They seem like the funnest group to be around. This new group, the C3, seem like they're acting way too serious, man. I mean, they were giving lectures at the beginning. This 23-year-old guy who I'm assuming lost his parents 10 years ago because he told that story in a very dramatic way, then collapsed to the ground. Either he actually did lose his parents or he was just faking it, trying to get some sympathy for Mahiru. But either way, it feels like he got his childhood stolen away from him, especially if he did use his parents back when he was 13. Maybe that's what made him start drinking coffee and put away childish things. You know what? The coffee is actually kind of memorable of Tokyo Ghoul too. God damn it. But anyway, I didn't like him too much as a character, but at least, I don't know, he set up a way that Mahiru could actually win and get out of there and save Kuro like he needed to. So I guess rather than actually saying, you have to join us no matter what, he was testing Mahiru's logical reasoning, making sure he wasn't going to be someone who just did things based on emotion and could be a serious problem, especially with the power of a Servamp. So, I don't know, he seems aight, but the crew seems so much cooler. I mean, Yumi and Tsurugi were just having so much fun as they were running around doing shit. Vampire hunters that they are, joking about how they're gonna get bonuses and shit, just randomly kicking Kuro in the face. I felt really bad for Kuro in this episode, man. I mean, he got kidnapped so early, got the shit knocked out of him. He didn't really get to do anything in this episode other than run and get attacked from long range. Not a great episode for him at all. Whereas I also feel bad for Pride and his owner. I mean, this is the thing. They rushed through that introduction so much, I don't remember either of their real names. I just remember he's the Servamp of Pride and he's a tiny little thing, which is just so funny with the like big massive cape and all the ego. Oh. And then you've got the owner, the Eve, who's like, 14 years old in in the second year of middle school. And he looks so big. That was some Hatsukoi monster shit right there. So yeah, I found it all very funny, very crazy. But yeah, they rushed through everything. It felt like there were 2 or maybe 3 or 4 chapters in this one episode. So yeah, it feels like they're just skipping over everything again from like 2 episodes ago. They need to get focused on one strong arc like they did with the Tsubaki and Sakuya thing. Right now they're kind of floating between arcs. They haven't really decided what the next move is going to be yet. And so it feels like they're just floating around and trying to take random bits from the manga and animate the most interesting points. So, I don't know. Maybe this one just isn't working as an anime, but this episode fell quite flat for me personally. The only thing that I really liked about it was Mahiru's final answer of being like, oh, fine. If I have to be all serious and act like that, I don't want to. I'll be a kid and drink orange juice. Because that line was just ridiculous. And then he chugged down the orange juice, which I assumed was going to have a drug in it. I was kind of sad it didn't. I mean, it was just proof that showed that C3 guy was like, you're still a kid. I'll get you a bunch of soft drinks while I sit over here drinking coffee like my adult self. Man, that move actually Mahiru did when he summoned the broom and like made the giant tornado by breakdancing. That was actually 10 out of 10 to be fair. I can't even deny that. But yeah, a bit of a letdown, but I'm sure they're planning another arc to come soon. And there'll probably be one big arc to finish this. So I'm looking forward to it. It's just this episode felt like it was a bit in the middle of everything and didn't really accomplish much by itself. Just one more quick thought before I wrap this up. I noticed that C3 talked about having Tsubaki under their control originally. I'm wondering if perhaps the reason nobody knows Tsubaki but he seems to know everyone else is they've done experiments on the Servamps before. And Tsubaki was actually created from bits of the 7 Servamps, and that's why he's so powerful and so crazy and remembers everything about them but no one remembers him. Maybe he's little pieces of them all combined into one. All 7 deadly sins in one, which he's decided he's to call himself Melancholy. So yeah, maybe he's like a synthetic Servamp that they were trying to create to hunt vampires. That's just a thought, and that he was too powerful and got out of their control. And now their whole reasoning is just to destroy him so nobody finds out the mess that they made. Just a thought, probably wrong, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts about that. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought of this episode, and if you enjoyed the review, then wreck that like button like you mean it. Subscribe if you haven't already to see more, and I will see you guys next time.